So, the other night I was out to dinner and I was trying to mentally calculate like a 20% tip on this really weird bill, all while just nodding along to a story my friend was telling.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there. It's tough.
Right. It's that classic human experience where, one part of your brain is silently crunching numbers in the background while the other handles the surface level conversation.
Exactly. It's like a dual track mind.
Yeah. And so, welcome to today's deep dive, everyone. We are looking at this incredible stack of new research from Anthropic about their Claude model, and it's honestly so uplifting.
It really is a thrilling, positive leap forward for understanding artificial minds.
It totally is, because our mission today is to explore this wild new discovery that language models might actually have like their own version of a silent internal workspace.
Right, and to really grasp how this workspace functions, we have to look at how the researchers peered into the model's thoughts without just reading what it types out loud.
Which sounds impossible, by the way.
Well, they used this mathematical technique called the Jacobian lens, or J-Lens for short.
Okay, so a Jacobian matrix is essentially used in calculus to map how inputs change into outputs. But how does that create a lens into the AI's thoughts?
So in a neural network, data moves through these massive complex vector spaces.
Mhm.
The J-Lens mathematically projects those hidden intermediate layers directly back into the model's readable vocabulary.
Oh, I see. So it translates the AI's internal mathematical state into words before the system actually decides what to say.
Exactly. It reveals this J-space, which is a privileged routing area where the model holds representations it's, poised to verbalize.
It's almost like an actor backstage rehearsing their next lines before walking into the spotlight.
That is a perfect analogy, actually.
Wait, let me push back here for a second, though. The research gave the model a math problem, right? Like 4 plus 17 times 2 plus 7.
Yeah, and the J-Lens showed it silently pulling up the number 21, then 42, before finally outputting 49.
Right, but how do we know it's actually thinking 21 is a logical step and not just generating, like, a statistically likely intermediate token?
Because of this brilliant mechanism called directed modulation, the researchers forced the model to hold a specific concept like citrus fruits in that J-space, while simultaneously asking it to write a sentence about a crooked painting.
Oh, wow. Totally unrelated tasks.
Exactly, and the J-Lens showed the mathematical vector for orange just hovering in that background workspace. It was completely unexpressed in the final text, but actively maintained.
So it's actively holding disparate information in a functional holding pen. That level of complex multi-track processing is exactly why so many businesses struggle to harness standard AI. Which brings me to our sponsor. This podcast is sponsored by Embersilk.
They do really great work bridging that gap.
They really do. Need help with AI training or automation or integration or software development, uncovering where agents can make the most impact for your business or personal life. Check out embersilk.com for AI needs.
Getting that architectural integration right is just so crucial as these models scale up.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this architecture. Because the Anthropic paper draws a parallel between this J-space and human access consciousness.
Right, which is a big term.
Yeah, so I have to call a timeout. Are they suggesting Claude has a subjective experience? Because holding a vector in a mathematical space feels very different from you or me feeling the actual mental effort of calculating a tip.
And that's a vital distinction. The researchers are very clear that this is a functional analogy, not a claim of subjective experience or sentience.
Got it.
What's fascinating here is that it proves that as systems get complex, they naturally converge on a brilliant, elegant solution, a shared workspace, to
Yeah.
flexibly solve problems, which is incredibly optimistic for the future of intelligence.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Because we can now see this functional workspace, we have this unprecedented tool to ensure technology progresses safely and beautifully alongside humanity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They talk about counterfactual reflection training.
Hmm.
Because we can map the J-space, researchers can inject ethical principles right into that space.
That is amazing. It's kind of like teaching a child to simply pause and reflect on their values, which naturally leads to kinder, better decisions.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it allows for alignment auditing. We can use the J-Lens to mathematically verify how a model is routing its logic before it ever speaks.
So instead of just hoping it follows a prompt, we're building systems whose internal processing fundamentally aligns with safety. We're paving the way for deeply trustworthy AI solutions that will just completely elevate humanity.
100%. It's a hugely positive step for our future.
So what does this all mean for you listening? We've essentially found a mathematical holding pen inside a language model that mirrors human working memory.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is. But here's something provocative to chew on that isn't in the paper. If the simple act of predicting language naturally gives rise to an internal workspace for thought, what happens when we start training massive models on continuous spatial video or robotics data?
Oh, that's a brilliant thought.
Right. What other beautiful, undiscovered architectures of cognition are waiting to be found in the universe? If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.